You already know what to do. That's what makes it so frustrating. The answer isn't hidden from you. You've seen it before, in quiet moments, late at night, early in the morning, or in those seconds when you stop distracting yourself long enough to be honest. You know what needs to happen. You know what habit needs to end. You know what decision you keep avoiding. You know what conversation you need to have, what risk you need to take, what part of your life needs to change. And still you don't move. Not because you're lazy, not because you're weak, not because you're incapable, but because knowing and doing are separated by something far heavier than information. If information was enough, everyone would already be living the life they dream about. Everyone would be disciplined. Everyone would be healthy. Everyone would be focused. Everyone would be building something meaningful. But that's not reality, because the problem was never knowledge. The problem is action. Action asks something from you that knowledge never will. Knowledge is comfortable. Knowledge feels safe. You can listen to advice, watch videos, save quotes, make plans, imagine the future, and feel productive without changing anything. Your mind loves that. It feels like progress without the risk of failure. But action is different. Action demands energy. Action demands discomfort. Action exposes you. The moment you begin, the moment you take the first real step, it becomes real. And when something becomes real, fear shows up. Fear of failing, fear of being judged, fear of wasting your time, fear that you'll try with everything you have and still not become who you hope to be. And sometimes that fear is stronger than your desire to change. So you wait, you delay. You tell yourself tomorrow will be different. Tomorrow you'll have more motivation. Tomorrow you'll finally begin. But tomorrow keeps moving. And the hardest truth is this: you are not waiting because you need more time. You're waiting because starting feels uncomfortable. Your brain was built to protect you, not transform you. It prefers what feels familiar, even when what feels familiar is keeping you unhappy. Familiar stress feels safer than unfamiliar growth. Familiar routines feel safer than uncertain change. Even your bad habits can feel safe simply because they're known. And every time you move towards something bigger, your mind sees uncertainty and sends resistance. It tells you to slow down. It tells you to stay where you are. It tells you later. Later has stolen more dreams than failure ever has, because failure at least means you tried. Later means nothing moved. The people you admire didn't start because they felt fearless. They started while doubting themselves, while being uncertain, while scared, while feeling unprepared. The difference is not that they had more motivation. The difference is that they moved before motivation arrived. Because motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. If you only move when you feel inspired, your life will always depend on emotion. You don't wait to feel confident before taking action. You take action, and confidence is built afterward. You don't become ready and then begin. You begin, and through beginning, you become ready. Real change happens in moments nobody sees. It happens when you get up when you wanted to stay in bed. When you keep your promise to yourself, even when no one is watching. When you start before you feel ready. When you do the uncomfortable thing you said you'd do. Then again tomorrow. Then again the day after that. Slowly, your identity begins to shift. You stop becoming the person who wants to change and become the person who changes. Every action is a vote for the person you are becoming. Every time you act with courage, even in a small way, you teach yourself that you are someone who moves, someone who begins, someone who keeps going even when it's hard. You don't need a new life overnight. You need one honest decision, One real step, one moment where you stop negotiating with the version of yourself that wants comfort more than growth. Maybe you don't need another plan. Maybe you don't need another motivational video. Maybe you don't need more information. Maybe you already know enough. Maybe the answer has been inside you this whole time. The question isn't whether the path exists. The question is how much longer you're willing to stand at the entrance without walking through it. Because your future isn't waiting for the perfect version of you. It's waiting for the version of you that decides to begin now. Before confidence, before certainty, before the fear disappears. Now. Because your life does not change when you learn more. Your life changes when you move. And the moment you move, everything begins.